in a program called Zamia Cares. Rachel, are you on the call? Let me, okay, probably she's still not on the call. Let me just quickly run you through what we are planning also for 2024. We have been talking about reminding ourselves as M&D professionals that the work we do is about people. When we produce those numbers, whether qualitative, using the software, some of the softwares we'll be learning today, but the quantitative, we should remind ourselves that these are people. So we want to really initiate the social corporate responsibility within Zamia, but with the focus of reminding ourselves that the numbers we work with will generate, these are people. So we've established a team, a group we are calling Zamia Cares, that will, one, help us remind ourselves that these are people, but also have a role to contribute to the livelihood of the members. Sometimes we lose members, sometimes members are in certain situations. We want to be a professional association that cares for its members also. So this will help us do that. And we plan to operationalize some of the things that we've been talking about and putting in place next year. These are the key functions. But what is the approach? Quickly, we will depend on members to raise the resources that we will use to implement these. One, like I said, the social corporate responsibility, where we remind ourselves that these are people, that the numbers that we are talking about. So we'll depend on you to contribute to this using the approach that we will be rolling out. But we'll have guidelines that will guide all the activities that we intend to implement. So what we will do is we'll have a team that will select projects. The first pillar is basically reminding ourselves about the fact that these are people that the numbers we generate and work with. So we'll have a team that will come up with the projects. For instance, going to paint a school or buy books for schools or shoes for children of the underprivileged in a school that don't, things like that. So we will sort of call for proposals for members. Then we'll raise the resources. Then we're hoping to target hopefully the Independence Day. Initially, we were thinking of the KK Day, which is in April, but we said maybe it may be too early, but it's still an option as days when we can go in the field and do the social corporate responsibility. So this is an outlook that the team worked on. Like I said, you call for submission of the proposals, then we have select the proposals, then we implement the activity. If it's going to visit the school, a hospital, or an orphanage, and things like that. Then the other part where we want to care for our members, this will be routine. Whenever we have a funeral or whenever we have a member who is not well, there will be guidelines that will stipulate exactly who qualifies. That will be routine. But like I said, next year we'll be launching this with very specific guidelines. This is another activity we are looking forward to implement next year. Ask my colleagues if there's anyone who wants to say something before we go to James. From the board, maybe, is there anyone from the board who would want to add something from what I've shared? Then I'll quickly maybe ask people maybe a minute or two if there are any quick reactions to what I've said. Then we move into the training. I'll pause here. Is there anyone who would want, from the board first, would want to add to what I've said? Yes, Russell is our vice chair. Yes.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening, everyone. Maybe just in addition to what the Chair said, also have a special interest on the CDF. So we'll just continue working closely with partners, but also planning to do a joint CDF monitoring. So we are in the process of developing a concept note that.
Thanks. Okay, members, is there anyone who has a quick reaction to what we've said? Partnerships will be one of the key things that will drive us. As you've seen, even today's presentation, this is a partnership we want to sustain. Is there anyone who has a quick reaction before we move? Okay, I think everyone is looking forward to today's presentation. James, good. What time is it in your shoot now?
It's morning.
James, welcome. It's morning, yeah. Okay, welcome to. We appreciate your partnership and your interest to share some of the innovation that you guys are working on. We always want to ensure that we, first of all, we as a professional associations are catching up with the innovations around that, those things that really point to what we do, that our members are up to date. So your partnership with you really helps us achieve that. So today we are looking forward, and every time you have new innovation, please always know that we are ready to always share our thoughts on some of those. So I'll hand over to you. Please talk a bit about yourself, then we can move into your presentation. Thanks.
Thanks. Sorry, if I can check, how much time do we have? I think it was about 30 minutes, but I'm not sure if 30 minutes is still the correct duration.
How much time would you have for your presentation? I think we are flexible.
Okay, maybe I will do a quick presentation, about 15-20 minutes, and then we can leave 10 minutes for a question and answer.
No problem.
Okay, so today I just want to introduce myself. My name is James, and I will be presenting on some actual case studies of how I've worked with different evaluation, me and my team has worked with different evaluation teams and evaluators to use AI in their work. And I'll share 4 different case studies, as well as an online tool that you can use. There's a free version to help to get you started to use AI in some of the evaluation work that you might be doing. I'll introduce my background. So my academic background is in data science and AI, but I've been working in international development for some time, including having done some evaluation myself at places like ID Insight, One Acre Fund, and Dalberg. And earlier this year, launched AILYZE, which is a startup that offers an online AI tool, as well as personal data science assistance to different evaluation teams. And we've done many different evaluation projects, and primarily with regards to qualitative evaluation, so interview transcripts, survey responses, and so on. I'll focus to share a little bit about 4 different types of work that we have done, just to give you a sense of, I think, where the field might be headed in terms of the adoption of AI, get you thinking about how AI might be relevant to what you're doing and how it can help you accelerate your own work and make your work more efficient and maybe more accurate. And then we can leave some time for Q&A. So the first case study that I wanted to share is on interview transcript analysis and how AI can help with the analysis of different interview transcripts. So we, for example, very recently worked with an evaluation team, and they interviewed 80 different key informant interviews and focus group discussions. And these are long transcripts, about 30 pages long, across different European countries. And with AI, we were able to analyze each of these different transcripts and come up with the answers to different evaluation questions within just 2 days. And this is, of course, not the final analysis, but it gives the first cut of findings and key insights of the different evaluation questions. So what we input into the AI system that me and my team have developed, we input the context of the program, what the program objectives are, what are the evaluation objectives, what the theory of change. And we also give the AI what are the evaluation questions, the criteria, and the framework. And of course, the interview transcripts. And what the AI would output would be the answers to these different evaluation questions. The answers based on each interview transcript and focus group discussion, analysis based on the country level. So for each country, what are the overall findings for the different evaluation questions? We also had an analysis. We also did an analysis of the similarities and differences across countries, and the AI helped to pick out these similarities and differences. We did an overall analysis across all the countries. We identified top themes. And for selected themes, we even got the AI to identify what are the range of viewpoints that the interviewees had on this topic and how many of them had these different viewpoints. So what does that look like in practice? Just to give you some illustrative outputs of the AI system. Here, this is a table, and in the column, you see the documents that we put into the AI system. And then we also gave it the evaluation question, and then the AI could come up with the response and an analysis of what the interviewee said based on the evaluation questions. And then it also picked out some illustrative quotes to help you understand, where these insights are based and where it's coming from. So that's for a single interview transcript and for a single evaluation question, but you could imagine this is extended to 80 interview transcripts. We also got the AI to give an overall response. So looking across all of the different interviewees, what was the overall response to that evaluation question? And then also, as I mentioned, similarities and differences. And then finally, I think this is a bit more interesting where we got the AI, maybe this would be easier to see. We got the AI to identify the range of viewpoints that different interviewees had based on the evaluation question and help to quantify some of the insights. So here you can see the question that we wanted to dive deep is why was there, we found that, there was a lack of coherence in the program and we wanted to know why. And the AI identified these 6 different key viewpoints on why there was a lack of coherence. So lack of communication, a lack of clear theory of change, and so on. And then we also got the AI to then look at each transcript and identify, did this interviewee think that there was a lack of coherence because of a lack of communication, or is it lack of theory of change, and then quantify that. And so you can very clearly see that a poor stakeholder engagement stands out as sort of the top factor, and then we delve deeper into that. And all of this kind of analysis, because it's a computer system, it doesn't get tired. It's all done, as I said, this entire analysis was done within 2 days. So it really helps to give a quick boost to the analysis that you might need. Next, the second case study that I wanted to share was on outcome harvesting. And and if you're not familiar with outcome harvesting, essentially it's analyzing documents and extracting out based on different documents, for example, program reports or success stories or interview transcripts, extracting out outcomes that people have said the program achieved, and then analyzing those different outcomes. So we worked with another evaluator to extract different outcomes from 60 different success stories. So these are write-ups that here, this is USAID, and write-ups that USAID wrote about their program. And for each of these different success stories, we extracted out the outcomes that the success story said the program achieved, and then analyzed those outcomes. So in terms of what we gave to the AI, again, we gave the context of the program, and we also gave the success stories, and we asked the AI to identify what are the outcomes and categorize those outcomes. So So specifically, what we asked the AI to do is to actually generate this long list of analysis. So for example, we got the AI to identify the outcome of the program based on, these write-ups, and then extract out relevant quotes, extract out where these outcomes was obtained, who was the social actor, when it happened. And we also categorize these outcomes based on different change domains as defined by the evaluation teams. We identified what was the significance of the outcome. We got the AI to rate the outcome based on a defined criteria from 1 to 6. We categorized them based on IRs. So, what kinds of outcomes was this? Was this an increase in community consensus for peaceful coexistence, or was it the ability of peace actors to mitigate local conflict and so on? So different types of outcomes. And so on and so forth, including how an analysis of how the program contributed to those outcomes and so on. So what we ended up with was a long table of different outcomes, and for each outcome, the quote, the location, who was the actor, and so on, the significance and so on. And more interestingly, once you have this kind of analysis, we can then do visualization and see, for example, here, these were the long list of outcomes that were identified, and you can see that there was the outcomes largely had to do with things like, for example, in the second column, you see general perception, self and self-efficacy. So this is around how individuals change their perceptions and how the program led to that change in perception. And so, this is a very effective way of and a rigorous way of doing evaluation, and AI was able to process all of that information very quickly. The third case study is on analyzing open-ended survey responses. So using AI, we also helped another evaluator to analyze and categorize survey responses. So these were 500 different survey responses, and we gave the AI the context of the program, the survey objectives, the survey question, and in this case, the survey response was in Arabic, and the AI systems that we've developed can handle all the major languages, including Arabic. And we got the AI to identify the themes and count the frequency of different categories. So here you can see the AI was able to identify, based on the survey responses, the list of different factors that were challenges in implementing this WASH program. And these range from insufficient budget to unpredictable funding to inadequate infrastructure and so on. And this could be done very quickly. So you no longer have to do this by hand. And this analysis was actually very accurate. So for this project that we did, we actually did a human and AI comparison. And here you can see the comparison between what the AI categorized the survey responses and what the human categorized the survey responses. And the AI had a 96% accuracy. And also it identified new categories that the humans missed. So, for example, in this instance, the AI identified unpredictable funding as sort of a new category, whereas the human did not identify unpredictable funding and largely only focused on insufficient funding. So the AI could also be much more accurate and comprehensive because they don't get tired, they don't have biases, or at least they don't, you can manage the bias. Finally, the fourth case study and final case study is around how we're trying to empower different evaluators to use AI on their own. So, the past 3 projects, we personally work with the teams to help them use AI, and so they send us the data, and then we help them analyze it, and we give them the insights. But we're also trying to help teams to sort of use online tools to do that by themselves. So this is where our website, which is AILYZE.com, allows people to go there, and you can upload your interview transcripts, your documents, and ask questions and do an analysis. This is a demo video of one of the features on the tool, which is called custom analysis. So here you can upload, here this is an interview transcript that you can upload onto the website. And once you upload the interview transcript, you'll be presented with a list of different types of analysis. You can ask it to summarize, you can ask a question, you can do thematic analysis, you can upload multiple documents and ask it to identify, how many people had a certain viewpoint. You can compare viewpoints between documents. And what that means is you can compare between, let's say, males and females. So these are some types of analysis that users can do. And so here, in this demo, I've clicked on ask a specific question, and here the question is, where do participants get information from? You can give additional context to the AI in terms of instructions. And here we ask the AI to focus on the information about the vaccine. And then we get a response. And then finally, with the response, we also get relevant quotes from the transcript. So here you can click on one of the footnotes, and you can click on the quote that the AI identified, and you can then see the quote in context of the entire transcript to understand, how the AI is basing its analysis. So this tool here is, there's a free version and there's a paid version. Free version sort of gives you more limited number of documents that you can analyze, and then if you need a lot more analysis, then there is a paid version, and that helps us to ensure that the computational cost of running these AI systems are covered. This is another feature on the tool, on the website. It's called One-Click Insight. And it's very similar. So you upload your documents. So here I upload 3 documents. And as the name suggests, you click a button and it helps you generate all the relevant insights for your analysis. So you've uploaded all of your documents, and then what it does, it identifies a long list of themes that are relevant to your transcript. And here, so it identified the summary as well as 6 different themes. If you scroll down, you will see the summary of the entire all the documents, and then you could also click on individual transcripts to see the individual summaries. And then you can click on any one of those themes, see the analysis of that theme, and also the individual thematic analysis for each document. With the tool, you can also do additional analysis. So for example, you can key in your own research questions, your own evaluation questions, and get the kind of analysis that you might need. We also allow you to request for a frequency analysis. So for example, here in this chart that you see, we got the AI you can request for the AI to generate charts like this. You ask the AI to do a frequency analysis, and what it would do is it would identify some relevant questions to the themes or the research question that you're looking at. And it'll identify, again, as I said, the range of viewpoints that people have, and then quantify how many people express those viewpoints. So here, the question that the AI is attempting to answer is what factors contributed to the funding disparities in refugee support. And it identified that the range of responses that people had was around their security concerns, donor interest and preferences, and so on. And then if you click on the chart, you'll get more insights around, what individual interviewees said about each of these topics. So those are the 4 different case studies of how AI is being applied. I will just jump into what I think perhaps the emerging role of evaluators might be, and how I think with AI, I think the role of evaluators are going to be more important than ever. And I think this might sound counterintuitive, but really I think the AI helps to do a lot of the first cut analysis. It frees up a lot of your time doing that grunt work of looking through individual transcripts, individual reports to find information. What it does, it helps you synthesize information much quicker, and then frees you time to do more sophisticated analysis. And often when you're doing evaluation, you need to understand a lot more than what the documents are presented to the AI. So for example, what your stakeholders have in mind, what are your stakeholders' priorities, and you have the AI will give you some suggested analysis, but you understand the context of the program, how the program has evolved over time. You understand what your stakeholders require, and then you can pick and choose what the AI analysis generates to better meet your stakeholder needs. Second, I think it also allows you to unlock more structured and quantitative analysis. So as I showed multiple graphs in this presentation, and it really helps you to do much more complicated analysis, like doing that kind of graphs, and that helps to lend more credibility to your analysis, and you'll be more creative in how you analyze your existing information. Finally, I think it also helps you to uncover deeper insights. So I think with AI, increasingly you would be able to, as you collect your data, you'll be able to analyze the data in real time. And then that gives you a better sense of when you reach saturation, what kinds of insights you're missing from the different interviews. So you no longer do you sort of collect all your data and then do the analysis. You do it in real time, and that helps to help you realize what additional information you might need to collect, what kinds of areas seem to be well answered, and therefore you should focus on other areas. And so I think that's why I also mentioned that evaluators become much more important than ever. You get the insights quickly, and then you also decide what else is missing, what else are we not answering, what are the nuances that are missing, and then you can focus much more on those deeper insights. So I think that's all I have to present. I can take some questions, and I see one question in the chat. So let me read the question. So does AILYZE examine the data in line with the hypothesis and gives you a decision based on the themes and patterns? So that is what the AI does. You ask a question, you have a research question, and then you could give it more context around what is your hypothesis. What is your hypothesis? What was the theory of change? And you can give that as additional instructions or context to the AI. And then it would, based on that information, do that kind of analysis. In our sort of more advanced version of the AI systems that we are developing, where we sort of work with evaluation teams, so not on the online tool, we take in a lot more information like the theory of change and so on. So that helps to better ground the AI in terms of how it's relating to your evaluation framework. I think Raphael had a question.
Yes, thank you so much, James, for the presentation. Just two quick ones. Firstly, I stand to be corrected from your presentation. Since you can only use the two at the post data collection stage. What about the pre-data collection at the design stage? Does it also add value at that stage? Because that's just as important. Then secondly, are you able to share any limitations as far as the tool is concerned? Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. So I think I focus more on the post data collection process. I think there are multiple areas where AI might be able to help with data collection. I think the one that would be most revolutionary, which we are doing some pilots with other evaluators, is actually, and this is mostly for systems where AI have a better advantage in terms of language, like English and French and these types of languages, where the AI actually can interview your interviewees. So AI systems are increasingly able to do speech to text and text to speech, and also understand and make a conversation. And actually, we're testing out systems where people might actually be able to you might be able to tell an AI to help you interview other candidates, and that can help to speed up your data collection. I think one of the big issues, in particular with more smaller languages, is around the accuracy of the transcription. And that is definitely a challenge. And actually, my understanding of the research right now is actually we are not that close to solving this problem. So I think a lot of what I shared are things that are making a lot of progress, are actually quite ready for use. However, for heavily accented speech for minority languages, these are actually very difficult problems that AI today are not able to solve. And so I think you guys would be very familiar with a lot of these tools. Sometimes you try to do a transcription and it's not accurate. So I think that part still has a lot of human involvement inside. So I think AI is progressing at different rates for different use cases. Another question I think was around the limitations of the tool. That is one limitation where the data has to be ready before the AI can analyze it. Another limitation is around how much contextual information you can give to the AI. And as I said, the AI is relatively accurate in analyzing your information, but sometimes it needs more context before you can understand what the data is saying. And this is standard not just for an AI system, but also for a normal human. If it doesn't have context around your program, then maybe it might misunderstand what it means. And so I think right now AI systems are sort of are not that iterative. However, I think in the future, AI systems will evolve so that it's more user-friendly and you can iterate over your response. You can tell the AI, this analysis is wrong and you're missing out this context. And it's very hard also for humans, from our experience, to know all of the context that needs to be given to the AI system beforehand. You might miss out some important pieces of information that your stakeholders have prioritized. And so over time, I think AI systems will become more iterative. And then finally, there is still always the need for the human to be involved to look at the AI analysis and make the final decision around whether it's accurate, whether it makes sense, whether it's prioritizing the right insights for your stakeholders. So those are some of the existing limitations, in addition to the data issue as well as the language issue. Let me look at some other questions on the chat. I think Vincent had a question around whether AI can link to other APIs. So as of now, our tool does not link to other data sources. So you have to just upload your documents or PDF. In the future, we are exploring something like this. So I think you can keep looking at how we're making progress over the tool, or reach out to us as and when you might need to. I think Victor also asked about how the quality of the AI output is based on the quality of the transcript, and that's absolutely correct. So if the transcript has a lot of errors, if the transcript is very vague, if there are acronyms in the transcript that a normal human would not understand unless they know the program, you need to give the AI all of that context before it's able to give you the right answer. And that's, again, especially for smaller languages, that's still, I think, a very manual and human involved process. Peter asked about the limitations. I think I covered some of that. I think another question is around whether AILYZE is on the Google Play Store, and so it's not a phone app. It's a website, so you can go to the website in the screen, and you can play the tool there. The second last question is around how qualitative research is very emotionally inclined, and whether AI can incorporate that kind of emotional sense. So right now, I think in the market, there are very, very few AI tools that analyze based on human emotion. And for our tool, we don't try to do that. And so again, this is where I think there is still a long way before AI can accurately understand people's emotions, understand the context so that they can understand why those emotions are coming from. And so that's why, the AI can generate different types of analysis, but it's you, the human, who understands the context. And maybe you've done the interview and you know that, this stakeholder was really angry. And so you should really place more weight on his insights. And that's where, again, as I said, you need to either give the AI the context, or you need to be that the informed evaluator. And that's why I also said that there's the role of the evaluator is more important than ever, where where the AI suggests some insights, and then you prioritize different insights based on, for example, your understanding of the stakeholders, their emotions, and so on. So I think that's an important question. And then I think for the final or second last question, I think Bernard had a question. Do you want to ask a question?
Yes.
Yep. I think you're on mute.
Sorry for that. Am I audible enough?
Yep.
Yes, I wanted to ask two things. Is there a form or maybe a type of transcript the AI understands? And secondly, I also wanted to find out, have you integrated your AI with the M&D frameworks, or it is just a narrative or type of data which it does analyze?
On the first question, it works with all types of interview transcripts in different formats. So, so in general, the transcripts that you get from Zoom or Otter AI or different Microsoft Teams, they are all they work well. It's important to, if you're manually typing out these transcripts, which very few people are doing today, it's important to ensure that you just label who said what, because even a normal human, if you don't label it correctly, or if the AI, or if the transcript tags the wrong person to the wrong speaker, then that also is a problem, and the AI might misunderstand who is saying what. The second is around whether we've intentionally sort of trained the AI models in the M&E frameworks and so on. And the answer is yes. We have deliberately got the AI systems to learn a lot of information in the international development sector. And these are trained on publicly available reports. And so that gives some analysis that some additional advantage to analyzing a lot of these questions in, water and sanitation, in energy, in healthcare, and so on. I should mention that our AI tool does not train on your data. So we've trained the AI models on publicly available data. But if you use the tool, we're not trying to train our AI models on your data, because we take data privacy seriously. And then another question was around there's a limit on the size. So on the website, you'll find that we limit the document size to 10 megabytes. And the reason is just because of processing issues. And we understand that's a limitation, especially if there's images in the files. Generally, if you have just a plain transcript that's maybe 50 pages long, it's less than 1 megabyte, and we allow for 10 megabytes. So generally, it's not a problem, unless you have very picture-heavy documents, and then you should remove some of those pictures, and you should very easily be under our file size limit. I'm mindful of time. I really appreciate everyone taking time to come for today's training, and I hope this gives you some sense of, I think, where the field might be headed, how AI might be incorporated into evaluation. Unfortunately, this is not really a dialogue, but I hope that some of you might reach out to me via email on the screen, because I'm also very interested in understanding how you think AI should work in your workflows. I hear some people speaking about, for example, data collection. I hear some people speaking about the worries about the nuances and so on. And those are very important concerns. And we really hope to be able to partner with some of you to try some of our AI models, to share some of your feedback around, how maybe you're using some of these models, or how you hope technical teams like myself can help to develop tools so that you can make your work easier. So I think feel free to reach out to me, and we'll be happy to speak to you, to hear about your concerns, hear about your ideas, and perhaps even collaborate in the future.
Okay. James, thank you very much for taking us through. I think I was just checking out your website. There's even is it a free version where you are able to try out?
Yeah.
And I think there's a package where you pay subscription per month.
Yep.
So the team can really visit your site and learn more. There are also some tips and tricks of how you generate the transcripts so that the AI can be very useful. So I guess this has been interesting. It has opened up more questions or thoughts, or people are more interested. Artificial intelligence is really here. We're chatting in the background with a team that it's really taking our job. We have to evolve with it and see how you make sure that in your skills you add these skills. But it's here to make our life easy. It's here to make our life easy. So thank you very much. Indeed, we have your contact. If there are more innovation that you are working on, please, we'll be interested to know. But we'll call on you again. I think we may have to think about another structured maybe meeting or training to really sort of have a practical aspect of how definitely you use this tool to generate to do some analysis using this tool. So thank you very much for this. We appreciate. So Tim, that was what we prepared for everyone today. I hope that was helpful. Secretariat or board members, I'm not sure if there's anything in the chat, or before we close the meeting, is there anything we'd want to mention to the members?
No, I think mostly it's we'll share the recording, especially for those who didn't make it. But aside from that, there's nothing from us.
Okay, thank you very much. It's Christmas, festive season. Please, we are looking forward to see you next year. Please enjoy the holidays, and let's go into 2024 with energy loaded to advance the association. So I look forward to 2024. Like I said, we'll share the upcoming activities for 2024. And when we'll have our first meeting next year, that will come soon. So we'll end the meeting here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.